Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. Hello everyone. Zelda. The reviews are in. Very disappointing reviews. It got like 1 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It's not doing well. It's not doing well. We'll get to that, of course. In reality, it is absolutely smashed out of the park. We've got reviews. A couple of reviews that I want to actually watch with you. We won't watch the whole thing, right? But we'll watch snippets of certain reviews. Other news, reviews, and discussions. Some trailers. All this and more after the drop. Let's get to it. All right. How's everyone in the chat? Salah was first, everyone. Claps in the chat. Salah was first. Okay. Grant, let's go. Alicia first. No, you weren't first, sadly, Alicia. You tried. Jeffrey, Sam, love from Hong Kong. Love from Australia, my friend. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for being here. So, guys, look. This is pretty much the game of the year that everyone's been excited for, all right? Some may be triggered for that, but that's just like the simple fact. Apart from Redfall. Sorry, my bad. Everyone was looking forward to Redfall. As you guys can see here, it is getting absolutely 10s across the board. Not everywhere, though. We'll get to that. But look at all these, man. I mean, it's just done so well for itself. This, I mean, I've watched a couple of the reviews. It's kind of being touted as like a triumph upon a triumph of Breath of the Wild. And that's... Breath of the Wild was its own triumph. Okay, I gotta start doing that. Breath of the Wild was its own triumph. Let's be real. It kind of in some ways it revolutionized the way that we were going to play Zelda. It gave you a lot of time just to chill in a world that wasn't bombarding you with things constantly. It was very confident in the way that it was just going to like let you relax into the world, you know? And from what I've seen from the reviews, it's kind of different in this one, right? Still in Hyrule and Zelda, in the Zelda world, but it's a lot more dense and condensed, right? Let's get to the reviews, though. Let's get to the reviews. Josie says, sup, Sam, from Facebook. Sup, man? Appreciate you. Gray says, hi from Russia. Hello, my friend. Is that even a terrible Russian accent? I tried. Whatever. Now, I want to get back to this. Okay, we're going to look at this, but let's get to let's get to the first review. The IGN review. Now, what I thought we'd do is watch a little bit of the front and a little bit of the back of it, right? We're not going to watch the whole review, but let's just like see what their opening statements are and their closing statements.
Before we dive into Hyrule, a quick note about spoilers. This review won't spoil the story of Tears of the Kingdom, but just like Breath of the Wild before it, there's a real magic in discovering its many gameplay surprises for yourself. I'm going to preserve that magic as much as possible, but there are some huge new parts of Tears that are introduced early on that I will be talking about because of how fundamental they are to what makes it so impressive. You've been warned in case you want to go in totally fresh. Now, on with the review.
It still looks like Breath of the Wild, though, right? That was the problem with this, having it on Switch still.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. More enemy variety? Better dungeons? Totally unexpected new ideas? Or simply more Hyrule to explore enough? Thankfully, you don't have to pick just one, because Nintendo's response to all of those answers is a casual but confident, sure thing. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom doesn't necessarily revolutionize what already made Breath of the Wild one of the greatest games of all time, but it's not a sequel that's simply more of the same either. This sandbox is bigger, richer, and somehow even more ambitious.
But I think that's kind of what a lot of people wanted, right? I think Breath of the Wild was such a smash hit. It was so incredible for so many people. The idea of having a second Zelda, Breath of the Wild, I think a lot of people were on board with that. And look, I mean, if that's the foundation of this, I'm all for that, absolutely.
With creative new systems like vehicle building, ridiculous weapon crafting, and a revamped map with a dizzying amount of depth, further fleshing out the intoxicating exploration that made the original so captivating. Breath of the Wild felt far from unfinished, but inconceivably, Tears of the Kingdom has somehow made it feel like a first draft.
Oh, yes. All right, what we'll do, we'll go to the end here. I mean, as much as we want to watch the whole thing, I want to show you two other reviews too. I'll watch a little bit more of this one.
The initial structure of tiers is a very familiar one. You start in a masterfully crafted introductory area where you learn the ropes and get a set of powerful new abilities, then dive into the open world with a main quest marker that quickly splits into 4, and from there you're free to do whatever the heck you want. Cutscenes and big story moments are once again collected at specific spots around the map, shedding light on the history of Hyrule and the source of the upheaval. A bombastic event at the start of Tiers that opens up menacing chasms, causes ruins to appear floating in the sky, and peppers the surface with new structures and strange anomalies.
Rise, rise, my servants.
Rise, my servants. Now, I want to get to the end here. I cannot believe that there is no loading in this, right? I've seen a couple of reviews saying that you could just like jump from the top of the sky all the way down into this massive chasm that has like another thing in it, which I maybe won't spoil here. But man, no loading times. I mean, holy shit, right? Okay, let's get to the verdict here. Where is it? It's kind of probably roughly here.
Building mechanics that make you rethink what's possible. It both revamps old ground and introduces vast new areas so immense it somehow made me wonder if Breath of the Wild was actually all that big. It's loaded with an almost alarming number of tasks to complete, mysteries to discover, and delightful distractions to keep you from ever reaching that place you naively thought you were headed. Nintendo has followed up a triumph with a triumph, expanding and evolving a world that already felt full beyond expectation, and raising the bar even higher into the clouds.
Masterpiece. Oh yeah. This is what I'm doing all day today.
You can
all
read
day.
a full written review on IGN.com for even more about what makes this game.
Zelda, man. Nintendo. Like Pokemon, the Scarlet one or whatever. What was the previous one they brought out? Masterpiece too, right? Maybe they don't all hit, but 99% of the time Nintendo absolutely delivers masterpieces, okay? It absolutely does. And man, this world is crazy to see how big it is, right? I mean, it sounds like we thought it was going to be big, but from the reviews, it is absolutely gigantic. And I'm all for it, right? And for people to say, you know, they feel like Breath of the Wild was finished, this makes it feel like it's kind of like a first draft. I mean, my God. Apparently, the campaign itself is going to take 50 to 80 hours to actually finish. Just the campaign itself. I mean, that is absolutely massive. And on top of that, this is only a 16 gigabyte game. 16 gigabytes? Jesus Christ, my homework folder is bigger than that.
Everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here. And today we are finally here to review The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for the Nintendo Switch.
They've gone full
This
Fortnite.
review was written by the legendary Alana Higgs and converted into video by me. There's something truly magical about the first time you dive from the sky to the surface in Tears of the Kingdom. That one moment feels like a complete distillation of what made Breath of the Wild feel so special to many. The freedom, the thrill, and the scope are all captured perfectly as you careen to the surface of Hyrule. You can see just how big the world is even before you land, reminding you of just how massive the previous game was. And somehow, Tears of the Kingdom does the impossible and makes Breath of the Wild feel like a proof of concept.
Yeah, another one.
It takes everything its predecessor does, improves upon every single aspect, and gives you even more freedom, an even bigger world, and tons more secrets to uncover. It's frankly staggering and makes for an absolutely incredible experience.
I'm very excited for the entire, like, build anything you want. I mean, the amount of, not bugs per se, but the way that people are going to speed run this shit, it's going to be incredible. That is going to be in the next 2 to 3 months, just to see what people put together to try and finish this game in like 4 minutes and shit. It's going to happen.
Tears of the Kingdom is a sequel to Breath of the Wild in every sense of the word. The core of the game hasn't changed. The combat is largely the same, the surface map is, at first glance, identical, and even the structure starts off fairly similar. But even though Hyrule might seem familiar at first as you take your first steps across the grassy fields, you'll notice lots of little differences. There's a new town, new ruins, rock faces and cliffs look different, and there are dangers around every corner. There's just enough here to make looking around Hyrule a second time feel fresh, but it's also clear Nintendo has listened to some of the minor criticisms many had of the first game.
Alright, let's go to the end. 10 out of 10. Outstanding. Oh, you can't see that on the thing. Oh, wait. No, let's not do that. Nope.
If you like this video, why don't you soar from the sky all the way into the depths of Hyrule?
We obviously
and
went
click
too
that
far.
Subscribe button.
That's another 10 out of 10 from this individual. But, I mean, we're hearing this a lot, right? This whole idea that the other one felt like a first draft, or it was just not fully realized until Tears of the Kingdom came along. So, man, this is just... So, this is all I'm doing today. This is all I'm doing today. I'm supposed to be working, but fuck that. I'm just playing Tears of the Kingdom all weekend. I would like to do a... let's watch a little bit more of one more from GameSpot. I'd like to do maybe a little impressions, if possible. Maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. Maybe I'll play 20, 30 hours of it if I can. And then I'll do a little review of it.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is so much more than a sequel to Breath of the Wild. While this newest entry in the Zelda franchise is most recognizably similar to that 2017 game, it builds upon the foundation so thoroughly and transformationally that it feels like a revelation. This is The Legend of Zelda at its finest, borrowing the best pieces and qualities from across the franchise's history and creating something new that is emotionally resonant, captivating, and endlessly rewarding.
50 hours, yeah. Played on Nintendo Switch.
Tears of the Kingdom
You should have
follows
played
in
it on
its
PlayStation.
predecessor's footsteps, with a similarly naturalistic setting, but the world has changed in subtle ways. Not everything is exactly the same, or where you'd expect it to be, and the map is marked with myriad opportunities for exploration and curiosity.
I'm just going to say it. This guy's mic, come on. Come on, GameSpot. It doesn't sound... It sounds a bit tinny, you know, not to pick apart the reviewers, but come on, man. It's GameSpot. It's 5.26 million. You guys can hear the quality of that microphone. Microphone is everything, isn't it?
Hyrule feels serene, even as it bustles with life and activity. The score is as majestic as it is unintrusive, accentuating a dire battle or narrow escape with an exciting up-tempo rendition of the theme, and then easing off with softer tones to let you breathe in the atmosphere.
Oh, let's go to the end. Someone says, you only played 50 hours? You haven't even finished it. Yeah, literally. I mean, 50 hours now is like week. For this game, it's week, apparently. Jesus Christ. I mean, even Elden Ring, you could finish it in a good 30 hours, I reckon. Something like that.
So strongly
First time
that
through.
I shed my own tears.
If you just
As
smashed
much as
it
I
out.
loved each of those pieces in Zelda's past, I'm not sure if it's ever evoked that level of emotion in me before. And then, of course, there's the story you write yourself through gameplay. When you built a clever machine to cross a chasm, explored a dark cavern with only your wits and a handful of arrows, raced through a thunderstorm on horseback to find shelter, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a canvas for your own creativity, a book to write your own stories, a world to create your own legends. It gives you back as much as you put into it, and it beckons you to soar, burrow, engineer, solve, adventure, and explore.
10 out of 10. Totally deserves it. I mean, I haven't played it yet. I've downloaded it. Someone said, Cooper says, did you play it yet? No, but I'm like, it totally deserves it. I haven't played a shred of this game, and I'm like, it fucking deserves it. Okay? What I will say is not everybody loved it. Not everyone loved it. Now, look at this. 10s across the board. 10s across the board. Now, some of them are 98, 95. Some of them are even 80 and 90 and stuff like that. But their one is from Gfinity. So I actually tweeted about this saying this is probably the one review that has potentially stolen it away from taking at least being on par or competing with Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is the only game on Metacritic that is at 99. Under that is Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's at 98. Here's the thing, right? I don't think someone should have to give it a 90 or an 80 because everybody else is doing it. So when I made that comment on Twitter, what I was saying is this one review has had a tangible effect on, I think, where Tears of the Kingdom will be placed on Metacritic for many years to come when we're looking at what are the greatest games of all time. It's been affected by that, right? But that's not to say that if someone thinks it's a 60... Although, I haven't played it yet, right? But everyone else in the community, everyone that's reviewing it, everyone that's playing it, everyone that's talking about it from a place of authority, from playing the game, they're saying that's fundamentally far different from what they think. I will say though, if you have a certain opinion of a game, but fundamentally the mechanics of it, the creative, the creative vision within that game, the way that it potentially pushes the entire franchise forward and redefines what an open world sandbox can be, which I've seen from all the reviews. I don't know if a personal opinion when you're reviewing something has to come into play. It has to come into play. I don't think it should overshadow the overall pros and cons of a game. Like, if I don't like XCOM, right? It's not, let's just say it's not really my genre, which it's not. But I play a game and I fundamentally understand at its basic level that it's a brilliantly constructed game. That I think it's revolutionizing the genre, that it's putting something out there that's going to be talked about for many years to come, and no other games can really fully compete with that vision for a long time coming, from what I've seen from the reviews. I would say that my personal opinion would have to slot into the review score, but it wouldn't fully make the entire thing. And again, that's not to say that you can't, review a game at a certain level if that's what you truly feel like it is. So if Gfinity wants to give it a 60, man, I'm not here to jump on the hate train, and I'm not here to put out a tweet so everyone starts saying, oh my god, these guys fucking suck. They're well within their rights to give a game whatever they want. I just hope that particular review included, the merits of from what we've seen collectively from all the reviews. I just hope it's inclusive of the overall strengths and fundamental triumph of what Zelda Tears of the Kingdom seemingly has tried to do here, Cooper says, I agree, 60% is clickbait. I did feel like it was probably a little bit clickbaity, there's an aspect of that, right? I'm assuming, right, that there may be an element of wanting to get some attention onto their reviews, right? But again, we don't know that. We don't know that. And that's not to say that they're not able to give something a 60 if they truly feel like it is. But, And hey, let's just say that a particular reviewer wants to go from the angle of saying, if you don't like, which Gfinity kind of does in what they've spoken about, if you don't like if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, then you're saddling up for a very similar idea here, a very similar journey in terms of what to expect. And if Breath of the Wild wasn't for you, then this is probably also not going to be for you. Then, that's an important conversation to have. That's an important part of any, I think, if we look at the suite of reviews or whatever, there needs to be someone that talks about the fact that, hey, if this is not the type of game that you enjoyed back in 2017, then this is not something that you should pick up. Having said that, I don't know if that should affect the review score. If you're warning people that this may not be the type of game for you, this should be very much about what this game is and where are the triumphs within the game. And the other reviews clearly demonstrate where those triumphs are. And if you guys watch 3 or 4 reviews, then you'll kind of see everyone's talking about the major points here. The level design, the overall creativity, the story itself, the fundamental template that they stick to from the original one, but they also grow on that. Just a bigger, better, more creative, more expansive idea of what Breath of the Wild was times 10. That's kind of what I'm sensing from this, What is their reasoning for giving it a 60 though? Look, in terms of if they don't personally like it, or if they're having issues with it, or they want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of a particular game, but they want to warn people that if a certain game isn't for them or isn't for their audience, if they didn't like 2017's release, that's their thing, And I don't want to start creating a narrative of like, well, they're wrong. Everything they said is wrong. It's more about, we need to create a space. We need to create a space that people can review something and not. I mean, look, I've gone onto their Twitter page after seeing their review, and there was a lot of people like, how fucking dare you? How dare you disagree with me? How dare you disagree with the other reviewers? Nah, that's not the vibe. What was Kotaku's score? Where is that actually? Let's have a look. I don't know where that is. Can't see it here, but it's just hundreds. Just 100. But they're not all 100. They're not all 100. There are some 95s, 90. Here we go. 98, 98, 95. There are some 80s also. Anyway, just goes forever. So yes, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But what else is happening in the world of gaming? XP boost for only in the free battle pass. So, Diablo. Everyone's excited for Diablo, of course. Now, we're getting pretty close here that we're going to start seeing some monetization and how they're going to be handling that. One thing that's really stuck out now, for me especially, was the news that dropped that there was going to be 3 different tiered systems for Battle Pass. Now, that's actually quite similar. Well, yeah, it's quite similar to Overwatch. Overwatch has ultimately 3 Battle Passes in its most fundamental form, right? You have free, which you have certain rewards. The second tier is you get the basic kind of season pass, and then you can unlock those rewards, and then you can pay a further, pretty much double the price or so, and you can get the first 20 items free, which is here. Accelerated pass for $25 US. It immediately unlocks 20 tiers. It's the same with Overwatch, right? So I think they're looking to do a very similar thing here. The problem I find with this, right, is it's great to have a free battle pass, and it's also fine to have a premium pass, right? For a free game, but also for a live service. So this is $70. I feel like any sort of seasonal pass straight out the gate, it's like, Jesus Christ, we've just paid $70 freaking for this thing. When a game is free at the beginning, season pass straight away, fair enough. Fair enough. I've paid $70 for Diablo, man. Let me just chill. Let me just like soak in the game. Let me soak in some of the rewards that someone should get from originally purchasing the game, right? Shouldn't that be something that we talk about? Isn't that something that we should experience before we start talking about, you know, oh, by the way, boom, here it is. Money, money, money. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of how battle passes can be handled. Free games, they have more reign to be a bit more evil, right? Because it's a free game, right? Now, hopefully when we do see battle passes in the future from Activision Blizzard King. It's only recently I've started calling this Activision Blizzard King. From that whole merger, I used to just think of Activision Blizzard. Now all the headlines talk about the merger with Xbox and how the CMA has blocked it. All the headlines say Activision Blizzard King. I've never included King when I'm thinking of Activision Blizzard. Never. Never, never, never. Troy says, you should definitely be grading things in perspective of what it is. I didn't go into Mario movie expecting Spider-Verse level of quality and graded it as such. I look, just quickly back onto that. Yeah, I think that personal opinion, just to reiterate, personal opinion matters. Your personal opinion of a game must be included. It must be in the DNA of your review. Like, you cannot just like talk about what you think everyone wants to hear because you think everyone's going to give it 10s. You need to be able to say, these are the strengths, these are the weaknesses, and these are and this is what I liked and what I didn't like personally. But overall, the you know, base the review on the merits of the game, what it was trying to do, where were the triumphs, and where did it stumble, you know? But to say that a review doesn't have any sort of personal opinion in it, not saying that you are saying that, but I'm just saying in general, I think that's I don't think a review can exist like that, you know? Like, it's always going to have a personal opinion in there. Jim Sterling got death threats from giving Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 10. Did he really? Shit, I didn't know that. Jim. Cooper, I've never, not once, bought a cosmetic from a game, and I never will. I don't care about the battle pass and cosmetics. Look, me neither. I've never actually, okay, apart from like Hearthstone and stuff like that, when, you know, you need to buy cards. But like, I can't think of a time I've ever bought anything in Overwatch. Ever. Never bought any loot boxes, never bought any skins, but you can earn currency within the game, right? So like, I'm pretty like, you know, I'm getting what I want out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I just play so much of it. I play at least an hour or two a day, usually. 10, 20, 30 hours a week, give or take, especially on the weekends. And that's enough for me to like get everything I want. Speaking of getting everything that we want, who wants Bloodborne. Now, there was a video that Digital Foundry put out, actually, just showing this at 60 FPS with 720p.
Like alpha effects.
This is
on decals
Father
that cover
Gascoigne,
the
of course.
screen. Even that was very nicely smooth.
So they're talking about just trying to get it to 60, trying to keep it at 60. Now, throughout the video, it continues to kind of dip to the 40s and 54 and stuff like that. The reason I want to show you this, right, is apparently, okay, huge, Bloodborne is coming to PC and PS5 and is set to be revealed at the next PlayStation showcase. Now, this is from David Jaffe, which is he was part of the whole God of War process. He was part of the God of War team. Now, he's come out and said that, you know, he's not sure if we're going to see something, but we very well may see something. It has been now 3 years since we've seen some sort of major remake of any FromSoft, and the last one was Demon Souls, of course. So it makes sense. Bloodborne is the one that we want to see. People are desperate for Bloodborne. Everyone wants to see that. And speaking of other rumors, which aren't really rumors, because it looks like Ed Boon is talking about something's coming. Something's coming. No one knows what's happening here. But Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, has shown us this. So what the hell is that? Are we going to be experiencing a Mortal Kombat 1? That's the rumor now. It was going to go to Mortal Kombat 12, but maybe they're like, no, we're getting too Final Fantasy here, man. We're getting too Final Fantasy 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know? Like Street Fighter's on Street Fighter 6. And the reason why Street Fighter's on Street Fighter 6, because every time they bring out something, it's like EX2 Plus, Street Fighter 4 Super Duper Mega. You know, like it's never like Street Fighter 5. I mean, it is. But Street Fighter 4, then it has like 10 iterations. It just takes forever to get to the next one. So Mortal Kombat, obviously, maybe we'll be ditching the whole 12. This is the rumor here. Mortal Kombat 1 is the next main entry on the PS5. So look, is this going to be the case? Who knows? But it also, after this, it was revealed that maybe it's not necessarily going to be a Mortal Kombat game. Maybe he's just teasing us and there's actually something else that he's going to be showing us. Maybe it could be an Injustice game or something in that realm. But I'd be up, Max says, I'd be up for a reboot. Me too, man. I think it's time, no, not time, but like it'd be kind of cool to see what they do with Mortal Kombat 1, if it's just like a completely fresh take on Mortal Kombat, or maybe they're going to revisit the original one as a remake. Who knows, right? Would you guys play Mortal Kombat 1 Remake? I absolutely would. And it would sell pretty well, man. The nostalgia would carry it. It would absolutely do pretty damn well, I think. You know? So I'm excited to see whatever's coming. But it's not clear. It's not clear. Now, this is huge. Apparently in the next couple of days, actually, the EU Commission will clear Microsoft's purchase for Activision Blizzard next week. Monday the 15th is the most probable date for the decision to be formally announced. So off the back of everyone expecting that there's going to be more and more issues with the other two regulatory bodies, which is the EU and the US, seems like if this gets back on track and then maybe the domino effect continues to be in the favor of Xbox, maybe that whole case with the EU is going, with the UK and the CMA is going to continue for a while, and hopefully we'll get some sort of answer in the next couple of months. But really, it's probably going to be about a year or so. But let's just say, out of the 12 jurisdictions, 11 out of the 12 say yes to the deal. What if Xbox is just like, fuck it, we just won't sell our game, we won't sell anything then to the UK? I mean, that's a possibility, right? Are they allowed to do that? Any lawyers in the chat? I wouldn't have a clue, but maybe they can. Maybe they can just like separate themselves from certain parts of the world and not sell there. And maybe they'll do the figures and go, you know what? It's not, fuck it, it's not worth it. Like, who cares? We may be losing a couple of million, if not, you know, several million people that we can sell to in terms of gamers, like specifically gamers that like Activision, Blizzard, King games within the UK space. Maybe they'll do the numbers and go, who gives a shit? Let's do it anyway. Cocaine says more time travel or a remake of the original MK. It's so unclear, right? I don't know if it's going to be the original Mortal Kombat, but I would say that it is definitely time to do some remakes of Mortal Kombat's, man. Mortal Kombat 3. Dude, do a remake of Mortal Kombat 3. That would be mad. Imagine if they brought out Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 as a complete package. It was $60 US, right? But it's a complete remake of all the 3 games. I think that would sell really well. I think people would want that. I would. I would absolutely play that. I would absolutely play that. You know? I think Cabal was firstly introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. Or was it 2? Jamie, pull that up. Chat, let me know. Would be funny if it was allowed. Well, I mean, look, if it goes through with everywhere else apart from the UK, we can then expect that they might just push ahead anyway. Not to mention, the US is the big one for them, right? Like, they really want to get the US on board. Sadly, there was remakes being made, but Warner canned it. Boom was upset. He really wanted it to happen. I did not know that, GF Jungle. Girlfriend Jungle? Girlfriend Jungle, I'm just going to call you that. That's a shame. I didn't know that. Yeah, that would have been mad. Absolutely. This is just more headlines talking about this, really. But yeah, all on the 15th of May. So in the next couple of days on Monday, that may be the big story. Actually, in my time, I'm in the future, so it would be Tuesday's story. It would be Tuesday's story. So we'll see. Have you guys seen Chill Up Zelda review? It's so shit. Why are all these reviews so garbage? I completely agree, Walter. Completely agree. Guys, check out his review and downvote it. Now check it out. It's about 38 minutes long, so I didn't include that today in that one because I thought, you know, we're stressed for time. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Absolutely, but of course he's giving it all the praise in the world. He gave it a very strongly recommend, or whatever he says. You know, I recommend. I very strongly recommend. What's higher than the very strongly? I absolutely, positively, expialidociously, very strongly, absolutely do it, recommend. I mean, that's probably the top tier. That's the 10 out of 10. So if he's only given it a very strongly, maybe that's like a 4 out of 10. That's probably what it is, actually. You've heard it here first. You've heard it here first. Oh my God, Skill Up gave it a 4 out of 10. Fuck, man. Go downvote him right now. Go downvote him right now, guys. All right? They're making a new Mortal Kombat movie, all right? A sequel to the recent one. Yes, they are. Yeah, I did a review of that ages ago, man. That is... Oh, it's a way off, I think. It's a way off. But they're looking to do a New Zealander guy that was in Lord of the Rings as Johnny Cage. What's his name again? Fuck, I can't remember his name now. I question Ralph's judgment on occasion. Ooh, Lord High Wind from Twitch getting saucy in the chat. That's the thing. Reviewers, regardless of who they are, you know, you can agree or disagree with them. That's the beauty of a review. Skill Up Exposed, Grant. Skill Up Exposed, absolutely. GF Jungle says filming starts later this year, apparently. Yeah, so it's all happening. It's all coming together. Avlata says Sam would never lie. Let's go downvote Skill Ups right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've never lied to you guys. What? I would never lie to you. By the way, you know, that subscription button, that gives you good luck in life. All right? I'm not lying. No, press the subscribe button. Yeah. Good luck in life. A lot of success for the ladies. That's what I've heard. You know, there's something about the subscription button, only for the Layman Daily though. There's just something about it that just brings ladies into your life. And I know that 99.9% of my audience is dudes. So I know who I'm speaking to. I know my target audience. You want to get more ladies? Press the subscribe button. You heard it here first. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Fall Guys now has a creator mode. Now this is kind of cool, right? So I tried to find a condensed video that just showed what the creative mode was going to be. This is kind of the closest one. It's about 5 minutes though, so it's a bit long. So what I thought I'd do is show you a little bit, but like now you can make your own levels and people can play them and kind of compete in them. God knows how much awesome stuff is going to be coming off the back of this. It's going to be great fun. Absolutely.
Next big thing on the Blunderdome. All right, Builder Bean, here we are. Let me give you a first-hand look at what creative can do. Every round starts with, well, a start line, and naturally we need a finish line as well. Now I'll just add some padded floors and that's it. Except, that's not very fun, is it? How about we spice things up a bit? Oh, that's better, right? So much more fun. Just look at it. And you see that Yeetus there, with the right angle and momentum. Well, I won't bore you with
That's
that,
great.
but we're talking a straight shot to the finish line. Bullseye. But I wonder, what if I added a chain of Yeetai? Another one of my amazing creations.
I think that's great, man. I think that's going to be really
enough
cool.
about how
I think, you know, Fall Guys was huge back in 2020 or whenever it came out, right? It was huge. I mean, it was huge for like a couple of weeks. Then everyone's like, oh, dead game. Like, yeah, okay, it fell off a bit, right? But that's because people experienced it in the overall depth of Fall Guys. It's just like, it's a bit of fun and then you move on, right? The only way to keep this really engaging is to constantly pump out new content all the time. And at the beginning of this game, it really struggled to do that, actually. That's one thing I remember. I think the team was pretty small and they just really struggled to kind of keep up with that whole, we need content all the time. Fortnite was able to do that, of course, but naturally it was a bit more of a robust team and all that kind of jazz. And now this is going to give them content constantly being created by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that just want to play things, and all the cream's going to rise to the top, right? All the good stuff is going to go to the top, and everyone is of course going to play this, and I think it's going to be kind of cool. I might even download this again. You know, this is going to be if it's good, if it's very easy to use, and it kind of creates a phenomenon again of certain play styles that get people engaged. Absolutely, you know. And if anyone for that reason, if anyone for that matter makes something that's, you know, good enough to play and you tell your mates, and that's enough of a reason to get, you know, some of your peers back into it. You'd be like, I made this really cool map, like come play with me or whatever, you know. That probably won't happen, but you know, who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows? Now, I'm a big believer of this. Google confirmed that it's currently experimenting with a feature that limits the use of ad blockers. Here's the thing, right? Hear me out. If I wasn't a YouTuber, I'd still be a big fan of a company that's providing a free service, right? Like, for most people, they don't pay for YouTube. They don't pay for YouTube, and that's okay. But then to put an ad blocker on top of that, I don't know, like, I'm a firm believer if a company, regardless of how big they are, regardless of whatever, if they're a company providing a service for free, they need to monetize it in a way that allows them to be sustainable. Now, I know Google is sustainable. I know that YouTube is sustainable. I know they're making all the money in the world, right? But I still think that a company, and again, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I would still have this opinion. If I saw this, I'd be like, all right, the jig is up. We had fun. As the community using ad blockers, we had fun. But ultimately, a company that's providing that service, you know, they should be able to monetize it in a way that's fair, but also going to be profitable for them, and keep them, you know, keep them profitable. Not to say that they're not profitable. You know what I'm trying to say? Everyone, boo. Eric says boo. Time to uninstall Google. No. I know. See, this is the beauty of live, right? Sometimes we're going to disagree. I mean, I'm right, but you're wrong. No. Like, sometimes we're going to disagree, right? But I just think that any company, they deserve to make a buck. And Google and YouTube, they're struggling. They don't have any cash. They're desperate for a dollar or two. Can I borrow a feeling? They just need the money, man. They're sad. No, but I think this is a long time coming. Like, I'm surprised it's taken this long for them to try and figure out how to do this. Now, they are experimenting. It's actually not finalized yet, but it certainly feels like it's you know, it's on track now to make this a bit more of a thing. You know? So, hate the chat. Very nice. But that's okay. Abdul says, can't wait to see how people get around it. That's another thing, right? Now the game is afoot. Now it's going to be, how do we get around this? How do we make sure that we continue to do the ad blocking live? It's going to be something I'm sure in the future. Ad blocking has been part of YouTube pretty much since the beginning of YouTube ads, you know. So what, it's like 12 years or 10 years. No, YouTube ads started in like 2010, right? Something like that. I remember YouTube started in like 2006, 2007, give or take or whatever, right? A couple of years it wasn't really implementing ads yet, right? So it's taken a long time for them to figure out, hey, maybe we can combat the whole ad blocking thing. This is interesting. So Super Mario Bros. Was originally going to go to streaming services, and then out of the blue, because it was going so well, they're like, you know what, guys, we're going to pause the whole streaming thing now. It's $1 billion movie. It's gone strength to strength. I think it's like top 3 movie that's ever been released in terms of animation. Animationally, that's what I was going to say. Animationally. But all of a sudden, boom, it's coming out next week, apparently. So you can expect this to be coming out soon. And that's kind of cool, right? Some people weren't able to see it, or they want to see it again. And I mean, it is a very good movie in terms of what it was trying to deliver. It was trying to deliver a fun, fast-paced, action-packed in a lot of ways experience of Marvel. I think I said of Mario, and I think it delivered, man. When I walked out of that, I was like, "Fuck, man, that was sick. That was sick." So whoever hasn't watched this yet, you can watch it in the comfort of your own home, or you can just watch it again. And I think that's kind of cool. But for them to push it back, so when a movie doesn't do well, it just like goes straight to DVD or straight to streaming. But this one, it did so well that they pushed it back. They pushed it back, actually, because it was going so well. This is very important. A Taylor Swift fan is selling contacts that have seen Taylor Swift's Eras tour for $10,000. I mean, I think that's dirt cheap. Don't you guys? I think that is absolutely dirt cheap. I'm surprised. I, for one, think that they could easily sell for what? $1? What is wrong with people? Who's going to sell it? Okay, firstly, who's going to buy it? But more disturbingly, who's going to sell this shit? I want to have a beer with that person and go, are you okay? Is everything all right? Why are you selling your contact lenses that happen to be in the same arena as a celebrity? Is everything all right? Who hurt you? That's what I want to know. Crazy. And it'll probably sell because it's a meme. Right? Guys, I'm selling a pair of jeans that saw a very big night and ended very embarrassingly. If anyone wants to purchase them, there may be a smell still. But I'm selling them because they saw a big night. They've seen it. They witnessed it. $10,000. Okay? CJ, don't kink shame. I'm kink shaming this, that's for sure. This is absolutely being kink shamed. If this is your kink, then I'm shaming you. Okay? Sam, what game are you trying to finish or play right now? Cooper, I am playing Breath of the Wild. I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom all weekend. That's my thing. I was going to review Survivor, but I didn't actually play enough of it. I was like, nah, I'm not going to talk about this. And it's kind of past now. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is going to take a while for a lot of people to finish. So sometime next week, I will do a 30 hours impression, right? Kind of halfway through of finishing the campaign, and I'll explore all of the game, and I'll do something on it. I'll talk about it, right? So I'm in the bathroom at work. Says sounds like a bargain. I agree. Jump on that shit right now before it's sold, before it's too late. Okay, buy one get one free. You get two. Pretty incredible, actually. Actually, I'm very keen on that. But what I've been playing all the time, as I said in previous streams, is just so much Wild Rift on my phone. I just can't put it down. But I'm putting that down this weekend. I'm playing heaps Tears of Kingdom. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to be playing. Lazy Panda says maybe if they won't pay streamers hundreds of millions of dollars a year, they will have more money. That's true. Yep, that's the thing about YouTube. They're struggling for cash. Struggling for cash. Ario says Alphabet owns the internet basically, but seriously, if they've made YouTube Premium provided something more tangible, I think more people would pay for it. I pay for YouTube Premium. I'll tell you why. Instead of me paying for Spotify, I just pay YouTube Premium. I get no ads on YouTube, and I get all of the songs on Spotify, right? And if they're not all the songs, then I'm guessing like 99.999 of them. And not to mention, you get all like the remixes that were uploaded to YouTube, or like the meme songs or whatever, like songs that aren't professionally released. You get them on YouTube Music. And it's like an app. It's like it's the same as Spotify. You make playlists and whatever. So for the same money that I would usually pay for Spotify, I'm getting all of Spotify gives me. This is just an ad for YouTube. Guys, have you checked out YouTube? Do it right now. Link in the description. Code, use Laymen 124. Yeah, I mean, I just think that there's a lot of value there. If I'm going to be paying for a streaming service, music-wise, I'll just do it with YouTube because I get free ads and I also get all the music. Yeah, so anyway, let's move away from this. Let's stop looking at this person's contacts. I don't know why I've left that there. Now, this is just quickly. Apparently, Resident Evil 9 is going to be called Apocalypse, and they're whole doing the Roman numeral thing again. All right, now there's a lot of stuff here, but apparently Chris is going to be very much part of the main story again. We're going to see Claire Redfield, Leon. Leon and Ada won't make an appearance. Okay, so this is all just like, who knows how much of this is accurate, but hopefully we are going to be seeing some additional stuff. But I think Resident Evil has gone from strength to strength. Now, it's always been popular, right? But I feel like Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 didn't kind of capture everyone's attention as much as 7 and especially 8. I mean, 8 was very much part of the conversation. Everyone loved Lady Demetrius or whatever her name was. Man, that was some... Twitter went wild on the Rule 34 there. They just went wild. Everywhere I looked, people were talking about that shit. Then the remakes, of course, continued to, like, I think, show an audience that these games were brilliant, and if you bring them out in a remake package, it's going to sell well, and it's going to remind everyone that these are fucking masterpieces. Resident Evil 4, of course, came out a couple of months ago. Oh, not even a couple of months ago. What, a month or two ago? And man, that was again one of the, it's probably like contender for Game of the Year. Not anymore though. There's Tears of the Kingdom, and then there's Redfall. Right, those are the two that are competing for Game of the Year. That's it. There's nothing else that's going to kind of get close to that, you know? If only Tears of the Kingdom didn't come out, then Redfall, I think, would have taken the cake. Taken the cake. It would have been a glitchy, buggy cake, but it would have taken the cake. I use premium as well in the bus framework. Absolutely, right? Absolutely. I get a lot of value out of it. I get a lot of value out of it. Cooper says, I want to play Resident Evil 4 Remake since I never played Resident Evil 4. Look, see, when I think of like, if someone said to me, oh, I want to play Final Fantasy 7 for the first time, I would say play the original one first. Because it's like fundamentally, in terms of the mechanics of it and how they present it, and like, it's an experience in itself to play Resident Evil, Final Fantasy 7 in its original form, because the remake is so fundamentally different in how they approached combat and how they approach just like the world and how they want to present it, you know? And also the story and where the story leaves off and how much of the actual game that you get to experience. But with Resident Evil 4 Remake, if someone was to say to me, oh, should I play the original one or the remake? Absolutely the remake. Absolutely the remake. Now, there are some changes. There's some quality of life changes. There's also some minor story beat changes in terms of like Luis, one of the characters. I won't spoil it, but what I'm saying is like there's just certain characters that are the story is altered in some ways. And also just the main character is changed. Some of the dialogue's changed, like stuff like that, right? So I would say if you're going to play it, play the Resident Evil 4 Remake, because you'll have a hell of a time. You'll have a hell of a time. We're approaching the end. Oh no. All right, so who's ready for my game? Who's ready for, is it AI, is it not? This may be easy today. Is it AI or not? Is it AI? When I was looking at this on my phone, I was like, okay, this may, you know, but blown up on the screen, maybe not so. I'll leave it up to you guys. Is it AI or is it not? Or maybe I'm mucking around with your head. Maybe I'm trying to make you think, oh, he's fucking with me. Like, is it real? Is it not? Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's just like trying to make it that I think, you know. I did show you so many AIs and then only one real one. Am I going to show you another real one? I don't know. Maybe I showed you too many AIs and I'm going to only show you one real one? Come on. Sam, is this the girl I get to hang out with when I subscribe? I'm not lying here. Yes, absolutely, Cooper. Press the subscribe button and she is shipped to your door against her will. Not AI, Cooper says. Not AI. Not AI. Interesting. AI is digital work and looks 3D. We'll see. Not AI, some saying real. The question here is all the people that have watched before. Am I really going to show you 4 AIs and then only 1 real? Come on. Oh, interesting. Now, this is something I want to show you because if anything shows you that E3 is not coming back, it's how many partners we can expect from Summer Game Fest in 2023. There are so many people that have jumped on board, all right? There's so many people that are going to be making appearances or in some way affiliated or part of it. It's just going to be a huge showing of Summer Games Fest. It's happening, and there's a lot of people that are being here. Activision, Amazon Games, Bandai Namco, Capcom, CD Projekt Red, Devolver, of course, Disney, EA, Epic Games, and the list goes on. And the list goes on. So we can expect a hell of a showing in some way, shape, or form from Summer Games Fest. And going forward, this is going to be, clearly, in my opinion, the E3 now. All right, E3 is gone. It's gone. Yeah, so that's yeah. I mean, just expect E3 around, I would say around Feb to March next year, saying we've heard people and we think that there's not enough hype, or we're not going to come back this year. Joseph for $1.99 Freedom Dollars. Sorry for missing your super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Can't wait to play Zelda at 15 FPS. That's another thing that I have seen from watching the reviews. There are some serious problems with frame rate drops, but as you guys have seen from, as you guys will see from reading the reviews, it's very much not about, it's not about a few frame drops here and there. That's so small on the conversation, I think, because the overall triumph of whatever they've tried to do, seemingly tried to do from the reviews that we've kind of watched, you know, we can excuse a frame drop or two. And this is the thing, right? When we're talking about buggy games or games that don't run at a 30 FPS or 60 FPS, it has to be part of the conversation, right? It can't be like, this game's a masterpiece, but it runs at 15 FPS. That's a 6 out of 10. You know, that's a 4 out of 10. It's not like that. You know, it's so much more than that. But it's definitely part of the conversation. But it still got 100 out of 100 from so many people because, again, some frame rate drops are very small compared to, you know, how a game actually is in its total package. Now, this is kind of cool. This is just the CEO of Twitch having a song with 70 people watching. I thought this was great.
In my country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. I hear the voice.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I really do. I think that's great. You know, he's just having to sing. He's trying to represent Twitch. He's trying to show, hey, man, I might be the CEO, but you know what? I'm going to sing Country Road. And he's going to do a good job of it. I think he did a good job of it. He sang it with heart. And that's what Country Road is all about. Not so much about, you know, if you can sing good. It's can you feel it? Can you feel it? And I felt that. I felt that. Now, is he going to be DMCA striked? That's the question now. He's singing content that he doesn't own. Okay, so if I continue to see that on Twitch, I'm going to have real issues there. Okay? He is going against their terms of service. Okay? Liquid Moron says, Liquid Moon, sorry. I couldn't read it, it's a bit far away. Liquid Moon says, a review outlet gave Tears of the Kingdom 6 out of 10. Yes, we talked about that at the beginning. Again, people are well within their rights to give something a 6 out of 10, but they better bloody back it up with some serious logic. And we hope to think that they included the overall triumph of the game, not just their personal opinion. That's the thing there, you know? Damn, I missed it. Yes, you did. You did. But that's all right. This will be a VOD that you can watch after that. Watch it again. Why not? Now, before we finish, everybody, is it real? Is it not? I did show you 4 AIs and one real one. Like, it's clearly time to show you a real one. It is fake, ladies and gentlemen. It is fake. Of course it is. It is fake. You can kind of see it, right? When I was on my phone watching it, I couldn't really see that it was fake. It looked so real. But now on the big screen that I'm looking at, maybe you guys aren't looking on the big screen, but on your phone, it does look very much real, right? This is fake. This is AI, and it's getting real good, man. It's getting real good. It's getting real bloody good, this artificial photography. So you guys, whoever thought it was AI, I'm on to you. You're too smart for the stream. Get out of here right now, okay? AI waifu, yep. Abdul says, AI, what? Yeah, man. It's AI. Fake. It's fake news. Yeah, it's not real. It is not real. It's from the Twitter page Artificial Worlds. Artificial World. Just dedicated to like showing you artificial stuff. So, Chris is on the phone. Yeah, it looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. Ah, dear. I love the AI game. Do you guys like the AI game? I do. The eyebrows give it away, you think. Oh, I know what you mean. Like a little bit here or something. Yeah. Her eyebrows aren't on fleek, or whatever they call it. They're not on fleek. But, yeah. Not real, folks. Not real, folks. But, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend. I might see you on Monday. I'm going to play as much Tears of the Kingdom as I can and maybe talk about it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We'll see. We're also going to get some news next week in terms of if the EU has approved the Activision merger. All very exciting, guys. Have a wonderful weekend wherever you are. And I will see you guys next time. Laymen out.